everyone. It's Reps Call today. It's 11 July 2019, and we have a very special guest with us today. It's a very exciting topic, which is about Firefox rebranding. But firstly, before we go over the main topic, I'm going to greet those people who join us today. So let's see, who do we have in the room? Irvin, Jason, Lazar, I believe that's... and Matthew, thank you, Matthew, Monique, Nazir, Robert, hi Bob, Takeshi, Tim, and Lydia. Welcome everyone. Please don't forget to add your name in the Etherpad so we know that you're here. And also, if you are a Raps, there is a Raps event page that you can attend. All right, so let's see if we have any shout outs, but I don't see any. Because I'm alone today, if anyone want to volunteer to be note takers, I will be forever grateful for you. But I think we can just start to our first topic, which is about Firefox rebranding. We already have Timori here, which is very exciting. Hello, Timori. The floor is yours.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. Morning here in San Francisco and other days and other times of day elsewhere. I wanted to share with you some great news about Firefox, which you may have already encountered. If you were to ask someone on the street, what is Firefox today, they might say Firefox is a browser. But actually now Firefox is becoming much more than a browser. Firefox is becoming a whole family of products and services that are all connected through privacy, protection, and safety. And so people's understanding of Firefox is going to enlarge and expand over the years ahead. And to support our strategy of developing new products and services that bear the Firefox name, we have refreshed the Firefox brand. And so the word Firefox in the future is going to stand in for this entire family of products and services, including our browsers for desktop and mobile, but also including products like Firefox Send, Firefox Monitor, Firefox Lockwise, and more products to come. The reason why we're making this change from a business perspective is that we want to diversify the revenue that we earn as an organization. As you know now, we earn our revenue through search partnerships with companies like Google as the main search partner in North America, but other search partners around the world as well. And as we've seen the use of desktop browsers in general decline over the past many years as more and more people are using mobile devices to get to the internet, the amount of revenue that we're able to generate to support all of our operations will continue to decline over the years as well. And so we need to seek new ways to provide new services to people around the world that are more private, more secure, and allow them to be independent users of the internet. And over time, we may offer premium versions of those products for a fee. So we may invite people to pay more for something that gives them more value in the future. And if we do that gradually over time, we will even out the sources of revenue that help support all of our activities and operations. So in the Etherpad, you'll find a link to a website. I'm going to share my screen just so all of you can see it there as well. This website is called Mozilla.design. And it contains information about both the new Firefox brand refresh and the Mozilla brand. This website is meant for external audiences outside of Mozilla, so like media companies that are looking for a logo to use in their stories that they may be writing about Firefox or Mozilla. But it's also meant for Mozillians as a whole, as a place where you can go and quickly get a logo or a font so that you can make things of your own that will further the Firefox and Mozilla brands out in the world. So I'm just going to give you a quick tour of this web experience. If you mouse over the Firefox tile, it gives you some different choices to learn more about the Firefox brand. And I'm just going to click into the About section, because what the About section talks about is our move from being a browser to being a parent brand, and the introduction of our brand platform, which includes our positioning, purpose, our brand promise, and what we want consumers to take away. It also talks more about our global audiences and the two audience segments that we are targeting the most with all of our brand communications. The personality section talks about how we communicate with those audiences, and it rests upon 4 values, and they are being opinionated, being open, being radical, and being kind. And we believe that all 4 of these values or characteristics should be evident in all of our communications. They may vary in proportion depending on the kind of communication and the audience that we're aiming the communication at, but they should all be there in everything that we say and do. And that extends to the actual brand tone, how we talk to people using those 4 terms. And then when you get to logo and usage, you'll notice that we have a new parent brand logo that you see here. This is the logo that we use to talk about all of Firefox. So it's the logo that stands in for all of our products and services when we're talking about the sum total of what Firefox brings to the world. And you can download this logo easily here on the site. So this is a new parent brand logo. It's not meant to be used when talking about the Firefox browser. It's meant to be used when talking about all Firefox products and services together. And there are different logo lockups that you'll find here, and they're all available for download. There's some examples of how not to use the logo and how to use the logo in the section as you scroll down. And then we introduce the Firefox browser logos. These are familiar to you. The browser logo is going to continue to evolve over the years, months ahead. In the fall, we're going to introduce a slightly different version of the browser logo and its family of logos, so that it looks more and more like the rest of the product logos that we have for Firefox, which you see here: Monitor, Send, Listen, and Lockwise. As we introduce new products, we will introduce new logos that will be in the same look and feel of the logos you see here. And you can download those logos for Monitor, Lockwise, and Send on this site as well. We also have a new color palette for Firefox, which is quite broad. And we have ensured that the palette is accessible and is used in a way that allows people who are sight challenged around the world to be able to access everything Firefox. So our accessibility guidelines are here as well. We also have particular colors that we use in web experiences to signal specific actions that people might take. So something to click, something to suggest that you clicked the right thing, a color to suggest that you did something wrong, and a color to suggest that there's a warning about clicking something. There are some visual examples here for Firefox as well that show how we make different prints and patterns using a system of shapes, which you see here, and we combine them into different graphic patterns to incorporate photography. We use them to make illustrations, and we use them to make motion graphics, like you see here. And how these elements combine to form web page experiences. And then finally, we are introducing some new typography elements. Firefox Sharp Sans is the font that we use specifically for our logo lockups. It is a proprietary font. It's not a font that is available or open source around the world. We're doing this deliberately because our legal department has recommended that having product names that are made with a proprietary font helps protect our intellectual property. However, it is almost the same as the fonts called Metropolis, sorry. My screen is not advancing here. Can you all see Metropolis on your screen? Yes? Okay. So I won't worry about mine not advancing. So Metropolis is our headline font. So if you were to make a banner for an event that is Firefox branded, you would use the Metropolis font to create the headline on that banner. Metropolis looks almost exactly the same as Firefox Sharp Sans. Only a type designer would notice a difference between the two. So Metropolis is the font that you can use. It's open source, it's available to everyone, and you can use it to make headlines for any experience that you would want to make, whether on the web, in collateral, posters, banners, that sort of thing. And then we also have the font called Inter. Inter is the font we use for secondary type. So if you have a paragraph of copy, you would use Inter for that. So Metropolis as the headline, Inter as the paragraph of copy underneath. And there's some guidelines here for how to scale things like headlines and body copy. So that's it for Firefox. That's all brand new, very exciting for us to now have a complete brand toolkit for Firefox to use around the world as we continue to build a bigger audience for the brand. You'll also find in the same site information about the Mozilla brand. This should feel familiar to you because it has not changed from all of the Mozilla brand assets that we have already launched to the world about a year and a half ago. But you will find on this site the brand personality, the logo, and a place to download it, our color palette for the Mozilla brand, visuals of how the Mozilla brand is used, and these are all available to you, and the typography, which is our open source font called Zilla Slab, and that's also here available. And so if you're hosting an event, let's say a gathering that's Mozilla branded, that's about Mozilla, not about Firefox products, you would use the assets that are here related to the Mozilla brand. So that's my news, and I would love to hear your feedback and reaction and questions about this.
Is there any question in the room for Tim? We actually have one in the Etherpad. So the question is, are we going to promote Firefox logo mark a lot more in the future?
Whenever we talk about Firefox as a parent brand covering products and services, a wide range of products and services, we will promote this new branding. So we'll use this new logo and the word Firefox as you see here. When we're talking about a specific product like the Firefox browser or Firefox Send or Lockwiser Monitor, we will use the specific logo and name for that product and talk very specifically about that experience using those brand assets. So if you're hosting an event or a gathering that's about all of Firefox, everything that's available, you would use the brand that you see on the screen right here, this new Swirl brand.
I was actually thinking about another use case from interacting with the outside organization or like user something, but more like, for example, we produce wax for community, and we use I remember we use Firefox logo a lot on promotional stuff. In that case, are we going to move to prioritize the Firefox logo mark rather than the Firefox browser logo?
Yes. Yeah, in those cases where you're partnering, you would use this logo unless it's specifically related to the browser as a product. If it's about everything that Firefox has to offer, this is what you would use.
So there's another question in the Etherpad. In which version do we start to use new Firefox logo mark?
So say that again. In what version would we use it?
In which version? I guess in which Firefox version do we start to use the new logo mark?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Do you mean which browser release? Or
yes, I think it's related to release.
Yeah, so if you're talking about the Firefox browser, you would still use the browser logo, not the master brand logo. So if it's specific to a browser release, then this is the logo just a sec. This is the logo you would continue to use. So, but if you're talking about Firefox as a whole, so all of the products that Firefox offers, you would use the new master brand logo.
But most of us know that we are going to switch to a new Firefox browser logo in some time after. But if we want to produce like a swag or a poster, we'll need to know that if the logo will get like outdated when we use it.
I understand. Sorry, I misunderstood your question. In the fall, so in the October timeframe, we will make the new browser logo public and available. So I'm trying to think what release that corresponds with. It's I believe the October 11th release or October 22nd release. I can't remember the number for that browser release, but it's in the October timeframe that you'll begin to see it. And we'll make it available on this site. You will have that new logo as an option to use for swag and other uses starting in October.
So there are some other questions are related to legal and license in the Etherpad. So the first question is it legal to use new Firefox logo in personal website? And the second question related to that, are there any license associated with the usage of the logos?
So you're free to use any logo that you download here in any way you want. You could use it in your personal website, definitely. We have protected the intellectual property, the logo and the name and its lockup. So that, I'll show you. These logos right here are protected globally. And so people are allowed to use them, but if we found that someone used our logo to promote a different product, or used our logo to pretend to be us, we would take legal action against them. So that's the dividing line. It's open source, people can grab the logo and use it. If we find that it's being misused or used against us, we will ask whoever misuses it to stop.
Also related to that, Bufana, I think your question, if it's related to sponsorship for an event, I will suggest to use the community logo if the event is sponsored by reps, unless it's being sponsored like officially from Mozilla, you can use Mozilla logo, but if it's sponsored by reps, I will recommend to use Mozilla community logo, your local community logo. So Mozilla India or Mozilla Indonesia, like the community logo. All right. Is there any other question in the room before we move to the second topic? Okay. I don't see anything else. So thank you so much, Tim, for coming. I hope we'll see you again sometimes in the Reps call in the future.
It was my pleasure. I'm available on Slack if you have Slack, or you can reach me through email at Mozilla, so tmurray@mozilla.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good luck. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. All right, so second topic, because we don't have lots of time. Very quickly about Firefox 68 Sumo Sprint. It's a release week. Have you updated your Firefox yet? If you haven't, please do so. But basically, we are doing a Sumo Sprint every release. So right now we're doing a sprint for Firefox 68. Sumo Sprint is actually a 2-week sprint where we address Firefox issues during each release. In this case, it's 68. So if you love problem solving, it's a great chance for you to contribute to Firefox. So you should find all the information about the Sumo Sprint. You can RSVP in the event page that I have the link in the Etherpad. If you have any question, you can ping me anytime about this. Is there any question in the room? All right, so we can move on to the last topic, which is council updates. We have Irvin here. So Irvin, the floor is yours.
Okay, the council is working on the revised OKRs based on our new goal, which is the race to be the mobilizer for mission-driven Mozillians. This is our overall goal for next health year. So we are revising the OKRs this week, and I think that the document and the details will be available next week. And there are 2 plans which open for everyone to feedback on this course. The first one is social media task force, which is built in by Yofi. To summary, we are going to relaunch the Mozilla Grant Instagram account, which you may know from the social task force from the social team two years ago. So if you are interested in helping the social media test for reps, then you please comment on the documents. And the second one is the Mozilla of the Month event, a Mozilla of the Month event. We paused it for 2 months, and we are now opening we are now start a plan to build a Mozilla of the Month team to run the campaigns, to keep running the campaigns starting Q3. So if you are interested in hosting the campaign with me, then please give some feedback on the document, and I will open the application next week. And the final one, last week we have 24 reps who has been inactive for more than 1 year, and in last week they have been graduated to alumni. So for now we have 238 reps now, and yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much, Irvin, for the updates. I see that the council are working hard. Okay, I see there is a shout out for Ruan Ranganath. I'm not sure who is sending this, but congratulations, Ruan. And very quickly about the non-verbal updates before we close the meeting, because we have over time for 2 minutes now. So this is only a reminder for you to update your Zoom app, especially if you are on Mac, because there is a security bug on Zoom previously. So please update your Zoom application. Also, don't forget to update your Firefox to 68. That's all. Thank you so much all for coming into this call. We'll look forward to see you again next week. See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.